So Monday Night Raw just happened. I think overall this show was average. I don't know why. Like a lot of things happened on this show. Like which you can say is like befitting that it's after SummerSlam. Like the tag titles were defended. You had a World Heavyweight Championship match. You know, you, you had a lot of things. I just think maybe the way that they were executed or maybe the things that happened in between, maybe they were just not executed in the right way. Maybe the material given was not good, because Seth Rollins came out, he did his usual promo, like also telling people that he'll never forgive them for turning on him after WrestleMania. And then LA Knight came out, and from what I got from LA Knight's promo was that Seth was not injured at all. Like, the only reason he faked the injury was because he didn't want to get beaten up by LA Knight more. So he took the easy way out and he got the BFT on him and he got pinned. So Seth was in kayfabe. Seth was never injured at all. He just he chose to lose to LA Knight, like just get the BFT because he was afraid that he would get beaten up by him more, and they were already setting up Plan B before that LA match, which I think was this that maybe if LA Knight is getting the better of us, just lay down, go into hiding, wait for the right moment, and get towards Punk. So this feels like that. I don't know. It's weird. It kind of makes LA's win mean nothing, but also means something. And LA was like, I want to beat you up and everything. Then Adam Pierce was like, okay, I know that Adam Pierce was on one because he was like, it's not conventional, but I'll still do this. So a World Heavyweight Championship match is set for Raw tonight. You had that. The thing is, you had Dom versus Dragon Lee, which I think was very good. Like Dragon Lee, I think is Dom's wrestling soulmate. He got the best out of him. And you had a third El Grande Americano soap, no, a fourth one because Chad Gable is the first one, and which caused Dom to win the match when AJ came out to run them off. So it looks like, I think at Triple Mania maybe they're like Kaiser is already in the Triple Mania tag match in the Fatal Four Way. So it looks like they'll probably do Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne in like El Grande Americano Mass versus LW. It feels like AJ is still going to come after Dominic Mysterio. I can see them doing this at Clash at Paris and have AJ take the title, because Paris, he got a great reception last time. Let's see what happens with that. Like I wouldn't mind it. You also had, Pierce setting up Charlotte and Bliss versus Raquel and Roxanne. I didn't like this segment. It felt, the A word, the F word, it just felt more cringe. The match was fine. I think at first I was like, are they going to just give them back the titles again like they did after WrestleMania? But no, I think it. Then at the middle of the match, I was like, oh, they're doing this title defense right now because they want to get the first defense out of the picture, because they're probably not gonna have them do anything at Clash of Paris. So you need to have them defend their titles at least once. So that happened. Sheamus versus Rusev, I think, was very good. This time, I think what helped also was the crowd was very much into this. Like was a lot into this. The match ended in a double count out. I think, always Sheamus hyping himself as being like, fella, you can't hit me. You're hitting me too soft is good every time. Them doing the brawl outside, I think that was really good. After the match also, like they were just brawling, like Rusev threw a steel steps at him, then Sheamus broke kicked him. Then they also fought backstage. I think the first brawl backstage was not that good because it just felt like, Alexa and Charlotte, felt like a comedy segment. But then the second one, where Sammy was having an interview and he was like, I'm done with Karrion Kross, I want to win a World Heavyweight Championship. And then him kind of like getting involved there. I think either Sammy is getting added into this feud, or it's like, it happens that, there's a feud going on, the third person get added you need to build that man up anyways, so you add them, and in a way you further the other feud also. So Sammy versus Rusev is happening next week. I can easily see Sammy winning that match due to Sheamus distracting Rusev. So in a way you keep building Sammy up so that he gets enough wins under his belt, so he goes after Seth Rollins, and you are also continuing the Sheamus versus Rusev feud. I can see them having a match at Clash in Paris in a Donnybrook match, and it makes sense. Like you're having the whole Shillelagh thing, like their match ended in a double count out. Also, their first two matches were kind of like Sheamus kind of won with a distraction. The second first, Rusev cheated in front of the ref to win the match. So I think that is fine. The thing is, they did stuff with Finn and JD in the ad break and were like, Tagger, like Liv is getting healthy day by day. She'll be back in 6 to 8 months. And it was, they cut Naomi's ad promo also, which was very weird. But I'm glad that they had her in a backstage segment, because earlier we had, EO with Kabuki Warriors. Kabuki Warriors being passive aggressive towards her when Rhea came out. Well, you go talk to your friend, and Rhea was like, I want to, like, Io was like, she didn't get pinned last night, so she asked for a women's world title match against Naomi. And you had, Rhea saying, I want to beat you and go after the women's world championship, and Io ended it by saying, you'll never beat me. So we're getting Naomi versus Io Sky, and I'm glad that they're having their wrestlers, like their top stars, wrestling more on television. Though I do think it's mostly happening because they're going to Canada and they like want to sell tickets. So I can probably see either this ending in a disqualification, or I can see maybe you have Rhea come out there, you have the Kabuki Warriors come out there, and some kind of schmoz happens because of which Naomi pins Io and retains the title. Because I do think what the next direction for Io and Rhea is probably the Kabuki Warriors turning heel on Io Sky, and then Io and Rhea going up against the Kabuki Warriors. And then they may drag this out maybe a little bit before Australia. Then maybe Rhea faces Io in a non title match at Australia, and then finally beats uh, Io Sky in a singles match. I think that's what the direction that they're going with. One thing is that the El Grande Americano thing is getting a little bit too much, but it gets over, and I'm glad at least they're getting something. Maybe this will get them over with the crowd. Let's see what happens. You also had Waller versus Penta, and they really had this a 50-50 match. I thought this would be a quick squash, but man, especially the end sequence when they were just kicking the shit out of each other. Like Grayson Waller looked really good here in the end, and it was essentially because also like Grayson Waller is trying his best to get the New Day a rematch for the tag titles, but New Day get him in trouble, and that why Grayson Waller gets into a match with Penta. And I think this is a very funny and creative way, like Grayson Waller is probably a heater now. Like he's the one who you go up against and get a baby faces get some wins under their belt. They get a little bit heat under them. So he's like that, and this is a creative way to get to that. Like they got with Sheamus, here they got with Penta, and Penta won. And Xavier Woods had a ridiculous hat on his head, and they were also very good on commentary as well. And after the match, the New Day was like, "Huh, this is everything here," and then Penta beat both of them out and put the hat on and did the Penta walk. They were doing the work. I think the show also got a little bit ruined for me because the Wednesday crew was here, the show, and I don't know why. I was trying to watch the show from their perspective, what a non-fan will feel like. My mind does weird things. But I think apart from that, also you had the what did you have? You have the Nikki Bella and Becky Lynch segment. Like before that, you had Bailey like trying to find Lyra, and Lyra was like, "Just stay out of my way," because we both have taken away each other's chances. I just don't want anything to do with you. Not the route that I would have taken, but this feel interesting. Like this makes the storyline much more emotional. So, and it also makes it unpredictable that they can swing any way and a heel turn would be justified. I'm liking the direction they're taking with this. And then also you had the Becky Lynch Nikki Bella segment. Like this segment, Nikki Bella actually looked like she cared. Like she was not just saying like lines written on a script. She was giving her emotion. She was giving her all in the promo. Like you were too chicken shit to face me. She didn't say exactly that. And you're still the same child that you were when you came in my division, and that you can lace my boots up. I want to fight you in this division. Like I'm all over your lies and BS. And Becky Lynch rightfully was like, I changed your division, so why the hell what the hell, and do not, and we can all believe Seth's lies and all. And she was like, yeah, I mean, of course, they, my hot husband, where is your, oh, you can't see me. And this is, I think this woke me and the crowd up. After this, I was like truly tuned into the show, because I don't think I've ever seen a crowd like standing up on their feet after Becky did the insult. I've never seen so many people put their hands over their head, people taking their phones are literally like jumping in the crowd when Becky did that John Cena insult. And this feud, like in the end, and then Becky was like, up, cheap shot. And you're also getting Becky versus Maxine, because Natalia, of all people, confronted Becky and was like, you shouldn't have done that to Nikki. I was like, why do you care? Do you remember what did you do to Nikki? Like you did the same thing. Like you were worse than her. Like you were like, I can get John Cena anytime I want. So, but Becky is like, no, I want Maxine. See you, sweet cheeks, next week. I'm liking they're having their main wrestlers wrestle on TV, even though it's just for Canada. The Becky's probably gonna win quick. I think you're gonna see this at Clash at Paris, because I don't think you're gonna have Nikki have a match at Raw, and I think probably this will be the last we see of Nikki Bella till like Mania season, because I do think they're probably setting up things for Evolution. They were probably setting up things for SummerSlam, and it just didn't happen. So they're gonna give her this, and this is a good, nice little feud for Becky. I just hope that she goes into feuds with people who actually needs these feuds. Like, of course, this is good for the Intercontinental title, it would be good television also. But go into feuds with people who need this, like maybe some mid carder, maybe some lower mid carder, which Becky can have a feud. She doesn't really need to lose, but that can elevate them. And then you have the main event, which was a good match. I liked Seth versus LA Knight. And after Seth like took off the mats and was like, you won't hurt me, I'll make sure that you can never walk. And then just as he was about to go for the stomp, CM Punk attacks him, so the match ends in a disqualification. Seth wins by DQ. And then you had like the bronze spear when CM Punk was just beating Seth, and he just, that spear was great. And then they beat up CM Punk. They like bronze speared LA Knight as well. Seth curb stomped him, and just they showed the executive producers thing. I was like, yeah, this is not a good ending. And then you had Roman Reigns' music hit up, just like what happened after WrestleMania. Roman Reigns comes, he gives a Superman punch to Bronson. He goes into the ring just as he's like beating up Bronson Reed. Seth gives a surprise curb stomp, and then Braun spears the shit out of Roman Reigns. And then Bronson Reed gives him three tsunamis, and he takes his shoes again. The tribal thief takes his shoes again with the shulala. I'm so glad that Bronson has finally found his identity in this faction, because it was like Braun Breaker is the next big thing, Seth Rollins is the leader, and Bronson is just like the heavy lackey. But he's found his character, the tribal thief, the shulala, and everything. And this is probably like writing off Roman Reigns, because he got not only speared, he got curb stomped, and he got three tsunamis. And also, like, LA was frustrated with CM Punk also. So I think the direction probably for Clash at Paris is Seth, LA Knight, and CM Punk. And what I can see probably happening is a new player debuting, is a new guy debuting at Clash at Paris, and I think it may be Ricky Saints. I think probably Ricky Saints is debuting, helping Seth to win. LA Knight is there to take the pin, and he takes the pin. So I think this will be it, and I do hope the draft get announced quick because you do need a draft. You need new players around here. I do hope that happens. I think overall a 3 out of 5 show, and I think this Roman beatdown actually helped this, the Vision faction. Like this, after Roman came out, this seemed like a solid beatdown. I think this was solid. So it's just that if I am a casual fan, the question that you have to ask is, if I am a casual fan, like does this Raw make me stick around for the show, for the shows going forward? I don't know. Like if you like just list down things, noteworthy things happened. Were they like really like great? But were they like necessarily bad? I think the question is that they were not compelling. You can say they were not creative or compelling. It was fine. It was 3 out of 5. Maybe not what we expected, but that was my review. What did you think about the show? Tell me in the comment section. If you like this type of content, like this video, share and subscribe. If you don't, then share it with those who do. My social media accounts, which are my Twitter/X account and my Instagram account, links are in the description, so go follow me on that. My UPI ID link, which is sharpboy@OKICICI, is also in the description, so go donate any amount of money which can help me make YouTube a permanent career option. So that was it for me for right now. So thank you, goodbye, Aluda.